What's going on, guys? How we doing? I've had a lot of people ask this question, and I figured I'd make a video about it. So, who am I? My name's Rob. I own and operate RNG-Gamez. It is a small game store in South Plainfield, New Jersey, and I've had tons of people ask, what do I do if I get negative feedback on TCGplayer? Me, as a seller, we've sold hundreds of thousands of cards through TCGplayer. We have multiple TCGplayer accounts for different things, and on average, I'd say we get probably 2 to 3 negative feedbacks a month, but we have 100% positive feedback on our TCGplayer accounts, and we get them removed. Most of the time it's because, we've rectified the issue, or we've, helped out the customer, and sometimes it's just unwarranted negative feedback that you literally could not have done anything different, and it is what it is. So there's going to be certain situations that you can get them removed and certain situations where you can't. So let's say you just got a negative feedback. The customer never reached out to you, never, reached out if their stuff was missing or it's damaged, whatever. You just get negative feedback. So in that case, what you would do is you would reach out to the customer. First and foremost, reach out to the customer regarding the issue. If it's a damage issue or condition issue, as a company policy for us, we used to do partial refunds. We no longer do that due to the high-end nature of our inventory. Because, someone could order a lightly played to moderately played Tabernacle. They get it. They say it's heavily played, and they want a partial refund of, I don't know, $500 to $600. Say it doesn't really work at that scale. If someone says that their Exotic Orchard is lightly played and not near mint, and it's a 14-cent card, and they want 3 cents back, you do whatever you want in that situation. But as a company policy, we no longer give partial refunds. You can return the card or keep the card, and it is what it is. So we no longer give partial refunds. And you don't have to offer partial refunds. As through TCGplayer, you don't have to offer it. Sure, TCGplayer recommends that you do that, but it's not mandatory. If you want a refund, you send me back the card. Now, in that situation of a condition issue, if it's a plain white envelope order, these are the simple steps that I recommend for the buyer. I normally say, let's say it's 1 card out of the 5 cards they ordered. I recommend that customer either uses their own stamp, sends it back to me, and they'll get the reimbursement of their stamp when I receive the card along with the refund of the card. Or I could send them a pre-stamped envelope to their door with return shipping information to me. 9 times out of 10, they choose the first option of them sending the card with using their own stamp. And in that case, if it's a order that is above the value of the stamp being sent, you can just refund the stamp in that order. But if it's like the whole order, you can't do that because you can't refund more than the value of the order. So in those situations, you would just send a pre-stamped envelope to the customer. They would send the cards back to you, and you would refund the buyer. But in that process of you sending out the envelope, you've already fixed the issue. So in that, you've already gotten the negative feedback. You would escalate that thread to TCGplayer saying you rectified the issue. You're refunding the buyer. They're sending back the cards, and that's it. Within 24 to 48 hours, you'll get an email back from TCGplayer stating, we see that you fixed the issue. We're removing the feedback. Thank you. And that's it. You get that feedback removed. Now, let's say it's a buyer that just says they never received the cards. It's been, 20 days. They haven't received the cards. Negative feedback. In that case, you're kind of, you have your back up against the wall on that one. What you can do, and in 99.9% of the time, this is what we do. If they said they never received the cards and we got negative feedback, if we have replacements, we send them replacements. But in that time, we then escalate that thread to TCGplayer, because we, as a seller, to protect other sellers, no matter what, we want that cataloged on their account that they said that they never received our order, if it was a plain white envelope order. Because to protect other sellers, like I said, we want that on file so they could see a trend. And if we don't have a replacement, we then just refund the customer their money, whatever it is, $5, $8, $6, $10. We refund them, and we obviously have to take the loss on that because they said they didn't get it. But we still go through the process of contacting TCGplayer, telling them we refunded the buyer. Can you please remove the negative feedback associated with this order? We sent out the order. Customer states that he did not receive it. So can you either, put that on their account or, put some sort of note that they said they did not receive this order from us, but we sent out the order. Over time, if they do it a lot, they'll get banned off the platform. It happens. It does happen. They do protect the sellers. I know it might not feel like that when you're first starting out, because when you're first starting out, you definitely have a bullseye on your back to potential scammers because they know you're a new seller. That's one thing that happened with us when we started our third account that was tied to the store directly with Binder POS integration. When we first opened the account, it was like a smorgasbord of cards never received. And if you sold on the platform, Channel Fireball had a platform as well, that when they first opened, it was like cards never received. But once you started getting your seller rating up there, it kind of wards off the scammers per se. But it's going to happen. It's part of everything. I'm not saying everyone scams people, but it's just part of the business. And if you can't handle that, you probably don't sell your cards. But as a seller, it's my responsibility to protect other sellers. So I recommend you do that because they do keep track of that stuff. But if you don't say anything and you just refund the buyer because you're annoyed, and then you just say whatever, and then shut down your computer, TCGplayer doesn't know why you refunded them, and they can go on to the next guy. So it's quite easy to, get negative feedback removed if you, try and fix the issue. If you don't try and fix the issue and then you're just like, this guy or girl or whatever said that this happened, could you remove the negative feedback? They're going to be like, no, because you didn't try and fix the issue. You have to try and fix the issue. And if there is no way you could fix the issue, like saying a card's missing or they never received the order, they'll still remove the negative feedback, but you're going to have to lose money on that because technically, there's no way they could prove that they never received the order. Now, I don't want to scare any newer sellers. You know, it's going to happen. But for, I would say, I don't even know, the 20 to 30,000 transactions we do a month on TCGplayer that we ship out, maybe I get 10 to 15 messages that people say they didn't receive their order, like a week. You know, it sounds like a lot, but with the sheer volume that we do, it's really not a lot in a percentage ratio. But we always try and help the customer. We always try and fix the issue, even though sometimes you're never going to be able to fix the issue because, you know, sometimes the customer, they receive their order, and sometimes people are new to the whole TCG ordering process and they expect their 5 common foils to be individually top load, bubble wrapped, and flown first class to their destination. That's not the reality of the situation. Goes in an envelope, stamp, goodbye. That's a very small subset of the people that shop on TCGplayer, but they do exist, and you're going to have to deal with them eventually. So to wrap it up, reach out to the customer first, fix the issue, and then after that, after you fix the issue, escalate the thread to TCGplayer asking for the feedback to be removed. You fix the issue. And that's it, pretty much. As long as you reached out to the customer and tried to fix it, you're good to go. Negative feedback removed. On to the next one. I hope this helped a few of you guys. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. Wildsville Drain, I opened a few cases of collector boosters last night. I opened 2 cases, and we got 5 glitter foils. That's crazy. But I've heard of issues of people opening up like cases, like a few cases, and not getting any. And that is like, that hurts. Hope this helped you. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you later. Bye.